What's going on, good people? It is the Bad Wolf, the man in black, the international man of mystery. Y'all know the rest. So now let's get it. So this particular video is what I like to call one of my gag videos, but it's really actually not a gag. I just normally don't put this information on this channel. All right. My main channel for this kind of information is on Badwolf Unrestricted. So if you like what you're about to see, head over to that channel and join me over there. Thank you to all of you guys who've gotten us to 55,000 subscribers on that channel. So thank you to each and every one of you guys. If you haven't gone over there, join me over there. What are you waiting for? TikTok, TikTok. All right. So the reason why I call it a gag video is because every once in a while I like to put in different information that doesn't really fit in on this channel, but it's either something that's just so interesting that I want to bring it to the attention of a lot of people. And my other channel is still small, it's still growing. So help me to get that channel up over there, and then I won't put any of off-brand information over here. Now, with that being said, thank you for you know, um, humoring me on this, but I think this is kind of interesting, but apparently, according to the numbers, most of you guys probably won't enjoy this one. So sorry, which is once again what I call it the gag reel. All right. So if you read the title and it intrigued you, here's why when I watched this video from this one guy on YouTube, um, it was interesting. So there's a phenomenon that only certain people out there have, and I wonder if it's you. I wonder if you are like certain people, and well, I guess I'm a weirdo too. I don't belong here. What do I mean by that is that apparently I am one of these weird people. Now, since I was a young lad, just a little pup, and I always, because we just when we live and when we come into our sense and realization, everything that we see and experience, we just think is normal. And that's one of the reasons why so many people out there are unfortunately in abusive or toxic relationships with, males, females, family members, whatever else. Because whatever you first come into, this is the norm. Everything outside of there is weird. So for me, um, my vision is different than other people. When I look around, apparently they just discovered this term, and I just thought I was the only person because when I was a kid, I asked people, I was like, "What do you see when you look at things?" And they're like, stuff." I'm like, "You don't see anything different, or like, what is it like?" And nobody matched what I was seeing. Now, there are some people out there who have extra sensory perception when it comes to vision. They've talked about being able to see like shadow people or ghosts or weird different spectrums or specters and whatever else around there. Okay. Now, I'm not going all that far or anything like that. Okay. But what I will say is that when I look at the average thing, I see the object, but I also see like these little tiny, look like they're moving, like the thing itself, though it's painted black or red or blue or whatever, it looks to me, and this is with everything I see, very, I don't want to, I guess like pixelated, and it's kind of like the different colors, and it looks like it's almost like moving. Okay. Now I thought that was normal for me, and I just kind of eventually was like, okay, I guess other people don't see things that way. I've never heard anybody describe that. So apparently this phenomena is called visual snow. And some people have even seen like light colored ribbons. I've seen that before. I don't know if it's because I was stressed or if maybe I had like a fatty meal. I don't know. I don't know. I've only seen it a couple times, but it's been weird. I have when my health was not quite so good, had like blurred vision and whatever else from fatty intake and whatever else. Hence why I've, started advocating for eating better and whatever else, even though I'm generally pretty healthy. But I'm going to play a little bit of this guy's clip, and I kind of muted the audio because, some people feel weird about your using their stuff, but we're not talking bad about anything. So once again, fair use. So, but they call it visual snow. And essentially, if you look around at stuff and it looks pixelated and not like this sheer, clear, just black, or like you close your eyes and you see like little colors or little just anything but pure black when you close your eyes, like electricity or anything. Apparently, you're a weirdo like me. So let's take a look, and I'm going to show you guys. I may play a little bit of his audio. I probably won't be able to monetize this video if I play all of it. So, I guess that'll be it. I just won't monetize it. Just, whatever, put it up. So once again, fair use. I think his name is Anton or something like that. So, hey, I'm just sharing the word because you're a weirdo and I'm a weirdo too. And I thought it was awesome that I watch you. You're a smart guy, and I'm a smart guy. So hey, we're two wild and crazy guys. All right, so let me get over there and get this rolling here. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Okay, so this is his channel, Anton Petrov. Anton, it would be awesome if you mentioned me on your channel because you've got 1.56 million subscribers. So throw your guy a bone here. All right. I highly recommend joining his, flock of subscribers. This guy's very smart. So here we go. So as we play it, he's showing you here that this right here is what normal people vision looks like. This over here is what my sight looks like. So even when I look over here at the normal people, which is a lot more clear, it still looks like this over here on the right, but a lot smoother, a lot finer. And with my vision, it's pixelated with color in here. So I actually like growing up, especially when I was watching like Star Trek and whatever else, I would call it like looking at the holodeck where everything looks like energy. Okay. And basically that's just how I see everything. Like I don't that left side, that is not how I normally see things. So apparently my brain is overstimulated, which would actually kind of make sense. So in his video, he talks about people who have overstimulated brains, or basically, like if you're like me, your brain processes tons of different things really, really fast. So maybe it's a normal thing for smart people. I don't know. Maybe because our brains are wired different or firing different, processing too much information. That's kind of what he talks about in his video. So I highly recommend, um, to check the full video out. I'll bring it back up here. Okay, get out of the way. And it says, I found out I have a weird brain condition that makes everything look static. Okay, by Anton Petrov. All right, so once again, um, okay. So yeah, so this is how my vision looks, but it's more like colorful. So I see the overall like the green, but then there's specks of red, blue, black, purple in there, but really, really tiny. Almost like I my vision is like a scanner where it has to pick apart each thing. So apparently it's called they just found out about this. They didn't believe it was a real thing until so many people started coming forward with it. So it's called cortical oscillatory dysrhythmia in visual snow syndrome, or otherwise visual snow syndrome, an MEG study. Okay. So if you want to look it up, if you have these same conditions, this might be what you have. Okay, looks like it was done basically in Moscow. Visual snow syndrome is an uncommon neurological. They kind of attribute it towards your brain being overactive and that this is a neurological deficiency or defect. I don't think it's a defect. I think we're seeing more. I think certain people like me and who have this going on, I think like him, I think our brains, our bodies are like tuners. I think we're tuning into seeing, and I don't want to say necessarily the anatomical or subatomic level of the energetic structures, but we're seeing something down to that level. Our brains are perceiving it. We're seeing a broader spectrum than that which is normal compared to the average person. So if you drop down in his comment section, it says, "Yeah, my whole life I had visual snow syndrome and assumed everyone else had it." And he's got lots and lots of other people who are like, yeah, they're like, that's not normal, like it says, hello, wonderful psychedelic persons, so kind of like we see like a mild, like I have the sparkles too. Yeah, like that. Yeah, that's a thing for me. I see fractals emerge from the noise. It's pretty cool. Now I don't see anything associated with noise. I know that's another one that some people, when they hear things, it gives off light or whatever else. So once again, that's a whole different spectrum. Here, he's talking about how this is also very common in people with tinnitus. Okay, and I do have that as well. So somehow we're plugged into something slightly different. Okay, I'll play a little bit of this. Like I said, I don't want him to be like, "Oh, hey, that's my video." If he's cool, he won't say anything. Like I said, fair use. So we'll let a little bit of it play, and then we'll go back to mute. So he's saying also this is and has been associated with migraines and headaches, probably because our brains are picking up more information because some little genetic code in us is just ever so slightly different that's allowing us to pick up different spectrums and frequencies and perceptions that normal or average people do not. So you can see it as a mild superpower or a super annoyance, or you're weird, or we're normal and they're weird. However you want to see it, it's just a thing. Okay, so don't feel like something's wrong per se with you. It's just you are able to pick up something. If it was just you, that's one thing. But now we see that though it's a small amount of people, there's a lot of us out here. Like I said, I just got so normal. I didn't think anybody else experienced this. So he's saying kind of like what I was saying is that your brain is like a radio or a tuner. Now here he's saying that what we're experiencing is noise and or junk, but the brain should be tuning that out. Like it should be like seeing past that. It should be like a filter. So if this antenna is getting all kind of different spectrums hitting it, inside the mechanism here is a system, because I am an electrical engineer, that filters and it hits here and it stops right about here inside the circuitry and it just gets nullified. It can't make it past. This is what your brain supposedly is supposed to be doing with seeing these other things, but I don't think that's the case. I think our I think the average person, their filters are filtering it out. Ours is letting it in, and I don't think necessarily it's a bad thing. It doesn't affect our function. We're just seeing more or seeing things with like if you look at they've done studies where they were saying how trees or plants or bugs see things. Now, when bugs see us or cats or whatever, they see us in different hues and spectrums, and plants see us or like as like these glowing celestial things where we don't see that. We're just like, no, I'm just a regular person, but they see us as like these living balls of mini suns, and if you use like I think it's called a krillograph or something like that machine, you can actually see people's auras around their body that normally the average person, can't see. Okay, so we're seeing more. That's all it is. But the average person, their genetic code filters that out. So their eyes and whatever else, it hits and then it goes shunted right to ground, and you guys don't see it. So for us, ours is like, nope, let it pass. And then we're like, okay, the world looks this, I guess this is normal. So it seems normal to us. Just like colorblind people don't know some colorblind people don't know they're colorblind until they go and take tests and they're like, can you see this? And they're like, there's nothing there. And they're like, yeah, there's a color there. You can't see that? And they're like, I mean, am I supposed to? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So for us, it would be almost like the reverse. If they had a chart and they had spectrums of color that normal human eyes can't see, and they put it up here and up there, and then we were like, yeah, there's two more bands there. I can see those. And then normal people are like, there's nothing there. So in fact, you guys are colorblind or spectrum blind. Anyway, I just wanted to bring this to your attention because I thought that if anybody else out there has this type of condition, that this might help give a name to it. I brought this up to my lady whose daughter has basically the same thing, but or something similar going on with headaches and whatever else. But she never, nor has her counselor, trying to help her with her migraines, and they're trying to find out what's going on with her. None of them have ever asked them this question. So my lady was very ecstatic that this could be something associated or the cause of what's going on with her daughter. So if in fact something like this is going on with you guys, I highly recommend you go and get tested. Let your doctor know you have a name for what's going on and that this might be connected to your headaches, um, certain visual acuities. I know me, if I drink a little bit more, it gets worse. Um, Certain light conditions, even though it's normal for everybody else, like certain mood lighting, will almost blind me because it'll resonate and I really almost can't even see. So if you got tinnitus or things of that nature, so really a lot of times, even like here where it's bright and I've got my things, that's mostly for you guys. It's really hard for me on my eyes to see, which is always why I always look kind of like I'm squinting a little bit or like a little tired. Well, I'm almost always tired. I really should have sunglasses on, but I refuse to look like some of these gurus out here who look so cool on YouTube with their glasses, especially the ones who don't like me. The other ones are cool. The ones who don't like me, yeah, whatever. So I'm just saying, guys, always before taking any, and they didn't talk about any like fix it for it, or it's still too brand new, even though we've been living with it for 40 years or whatever at this point. Um, don't self-medicate. Make sure you go and talk to a doctor, but bring it up to them and let so that they can shed awareness to this, put it in their database, and we can generate enough awareness that maybe we can find out like how to like either fix it or tone it back or whatever. So all right, guys, that's it for this particular video. Once again, I know this was not my normal thing, but this will also be posted on my Badwolf Unrestricted. So if you like weird things like this, curiosities, entertainment, relationship advice, and anything else that I think is cool or weird or putting people on blast or whatever it is, it'll be on the other channel, not over here. So once again, welcome to the gag reel. I always got to throw one of these weird ones in, kind of like, Supernatural or whatever, these episodes, TV shows, and they throw that one weird episode in. Well, this is it. So I appreciate you guys because ultimately, even though I help you guys out with like your taxes and your credits and your processes and legal status and standing, ultimately, what does that really all entail? And really, what is it for me? It's about helping you. And so whether it's health, wealth, taxes, protections, rights. We'll bring it to you. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you. Take care. I'll talk to you later.